It's your hostess with the mostest, holding it down with you 3 hours a night, 5 nights a week here at SiriusXM Patriot Channel. Stacy Washington here, and welcoming into the program Jessica Milan Patterson. One of our favorites is back in the chair with us tonight, Chairwoman for the California Republican Party. Jessica, thank you so much for coming on.
Stacy, it is always great to be with you and your listeners. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my goodness. We have so much to discuss. Everyone, if you want to find out more, it's cagop.org. That's californiagop.org. Okay, so let's start off with Governor Newsom at the Vatican. Did lightning strike? What happened?
Well, you know, he loves leaving our state. He loves going on his shadow presidential campaign and trying to boost up his chops on international activities. He loves doing that. And he loves going, you know, in very expensive planes to go to climate change summits, which is what was happening at the Vatican. And it's just another example of this probably could have been done by Zoom. And if you really care about the environment, stop being a hypocrite and actually take care of the environment. The things that we're doing right here in California, you know, we have so many natural resources here in California, and we also produce the cleanest energy than anywhere in the world. And instead of utilizing those natural resources that we have right here in California, Governor Newsom has stifled the resources that we have, and instead we're buying more oil from other parts of the world, from our enemies, places where it's not produced as clean as it is here in California. It's just another one of those many layers of hypocrisy. And Californians not only get to enjoy the highest gas prices in the nation because of these decisions, but come July 1st, we're also going to have that increased gas tax. Just as New York Mets fans can count on sending Bobby Bonilla his $1 million every July 1st, California drivers can get guaranteed that they will have a hike in the gas tax every July 1st because of the Democrats here.
Gosh, it's just something, it's astounding to watch Gavin Newsom kind of pretend that he hasn't failed the people of California. And like you said, the travel and all of that, when he should be hunkered down, trying to balance the budget, trying to roll back some of these policies that are so harmful to Californians, which leads to this is new news. There's going to be, I guess, people understanding that the California home prices are at a record all-time high.
Yeah, and it continues to go up. You know, this is a problem that we're seeing here in California right now. Only 15% of Californians can afford to buy a new home. All of us are watching friends and family who are leaving our state for redder pastures. If it's not the housing crisis, because, you know, California Democrats have made it so incredibly difficult to build here in California, watching what's happening at the national level with the Fed raising interest rates, it's become incredibly difficult, next to impossible for many Californians to be able to have that American dream, that California dream of owning a home. And, you know, that's why 700,000 people left our state in 2022 alone. But the good news for us is that I think that Californians are waking up to these really bad policies, Stacy, and that's really reflected in our voter registration. This is something that's been really exciting to watch as a Californian. You know, it's sometimes very hard as a California Republican to find the hope here in California. But when we look at the last two reports from the Secretary of State's voter registration numbers, California Republicans have increased while California Democrats and California declined estates have decreased. And in fact, our Secretary of State was supposed to send out another report on the 154 days out from the general election. That was on June 4th. She didn't. And I can tell you why she didn't, because it would have been the third report in a row where California Republicans have gained and Democrats and no party preference have declined. In fact, since October of last year, California Republicans have increased by over 160,000 new registrations. In that same time, Democrats have lost 106,000. Declined estates or no party preference have lost 115,000 registrations. We've gained Republican registration in every single assembly district every single Senate district, every single congressional district, and every single county in our state. It has been a lot of work that's been done by the California Republican Party to increase those numbers. And, we are now and continue to be the largest Republican Party in the entire country.
Wow. Those statistics are stunning. So these are...
It is.
Yeah. Talk to us about what's driving that.
Well, we have a lot of policies that are happening around California, and the Democrats just really continue to step in it. We had a few years ago a Proposition 47, which essentially decriminalized so much. And, you see it on the news. They're inevitably talking about the crime that is happening, the crime waves that are happening here in California, whether it's smash and grabs or retail theft or individuals with their cars being broken into. Our executive director, just a block away from the Capitol earlier this week, had his car broken into. This has become an everyday occurrence for many Californians. And finally, some Democrats were seeing the light and trying to put together some reforms, some bipartisan reforms. They were joining with Republicans to fix this very bad pro-criminal policy that Democrats have championed over the years. Well, there was also a ballot initiative, and this ballot initiative qualified for the November election just earlier this week. So what did California Democrats do with Governor Newsom? They decided to put some poison pills inside of the legislation that was going through the legislature. And these poison pills essentially would make, if the reforms to Prop 47 passed in the November ballot, then it would make everything that they were doing in the legislature inoperable. And once again, they would try and fool California voters into not voting for the serious reforms that Prop 47 reforms were trying to do in November. California voters can see right through this. Not only that, but we had a Taxpayer Protection Act that was supposed to be qualified for the ballot. California Democrats took it to court, and the Supreme Court here in California just took it off of the November ballot, even though it was duly qualified. This is the type of stuff that we're seeing here in California. And for a party that cries and screams about democracy, they sure don't want people to vote on some of the stuff that they're doing.
They're like, oh, we need democracy, except when you want to notify parents about our, kids transitioning, except when you want, that there's a bright line, isn't there, Jessica? Some things need notification.
When you want to hold criminals accountable, like we are doing with the Prop 47 reforms, when you want to make sure that if you are going to have tax increases, that it has to go through approval of the public. Oh, yeah, there's definitely a red line in the sand, and that's where democracy can take a back seat when it comes to California Democrats.
Yeah, I love the way democracy is sometimes just an overarching, all-important goal, and it's very potent. And then at other times, it's almost invisible. It's almost, like a ghost.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of opportunities. Not only do we have these registration increases in all of our counties and all of our districts around our state, we've got some really great candidates. We are going to be the reason, once again, that we hold on to the House, and I believe we're going to grow our House majority, going on the offense in 3 additional seats here in California. We've picked up those 5 congressional seats in the last 2 cycles. So when we enjoy a 4-seat House majority in the U.S. House, you can thank California Republicans for that. But we're also going to hold on to those seats, and we're going to pick up 3 more come November because we've got great candidates. We're doing all of the things that we need to do on the infrastructure side so that they're ready to win in November. Not only that, we've got a great top-of-the-ticket candidate for the U.S. Senate race with Steve Garvey. He is fantastic. He is a political outsider who is appealing not just to Republicans, but to decline states and to Democrats who are so incredibly frustrated with the way that California Democrats have treated our state. And an insider like Adam Schiff, who is the cause of many of the problems we see as Californians.
Oh, my gosh. And so the thing that I'm most excited about is the possibility of strengthening the House majority. And also, obviously, we really need to do something about our our standing in the U.S. Senate, increasing seats there as well, because we need to give an incoming President Trump administration the ability to craft ideas and see those go through the House and then through the Senate so he can sign laws so that we don't have to rely only on executive orders.
Absolutely. And we saw what those first 2 years with a Trump presidency and Republican House and Senate we were able to do. There was so much reform. There was so much fixing. We were an energy independent country. And I know that so many people recall those days, and they yearn for those days again. And so California is actually absolutely going to be doing our part to make sure that we are working hard to spend as much as we can in that U.S. Senate race and take out Adam Schiff, but also hold on to the House seats that we've picked up and increase that House majority here in California.
So is there anything you'd like to say to people who, we've been having a very encouraging night tonight. We spoke with the Director of Communications for the Trump campaign, Christine Sunshine, and also we had Charlie Kirk on earlier, and he was very encouraging. I'm sorry, Caroline Sunshine. We were talking with both of them about the importance of being upbeat and positive and making sure that people can understand that there is a reason to go out and vote. There is a reason to believe that this election can go in the right direction and that it can be won. And I was wondering if you had any encouraging words for us as well.
Well, you know that, I am a happy conservative and I am a happy warrior. You have to be here when you deal with all of the craziness that California Democrats bring our way. And what you have to remember is regardless of where you are in the country, you are going to be able to play a part. Whether it's like us in deep blue California, we are the reason for the House majority right now. We know what our part is, and we are going to continue to buckle down and do that. How do we do it? We make sure we continue to register voters. We make sure we show up in communities that have been neglected by our party over the years. We talk about our shared values. We turn out those voters, and we turn them out early. It is so critical. Ballot harvesting is something that was legal first here in California. And in that first cycle, we didn't do ballot harvesting. When I became chair, I said, we're going to do it because those are the rules. And when you win a seat like Congressman Mike Garcia's by 333 votes, like we did in 2020, or Congressman John Duarte's seat by 560 votes, like we did in 2022, I promise you, all of the work that we did to get people to vote early and then move on to new people that were lower propensity, that were not as likely to vote, made an absolute difference in having the House majority and not having the House majority. Everyone can do their part.
I mean, it's actually not just doable, it is so eminently doable, which means we have an opportunity to have a great result in November.
We really do. And I think that, the party's more united than I've ever seen it. Everybody is rowing in the same direction. We all have our part of the plan that we are going out and executing. And because of that, we're going to be successful. If you would like to join us at the California Republican Party and what we're doing, you can do everything from donate to volunteer, be one of our precinct captains. You could be one of our election integrity volunteers. You can go to cagop.org. And just about everything you can do right there on our website.
So that's the excitement. That's everything coming out of California, which, we have a lot of news that comes out of California where we're horrified, but the California GOP continues to outperform expectations and bring in wins, and we need that.
Well, we have a great team here. As you know, my vice chair, Corinne Brinken, has been working so incredibly hard. She's all over the state. We're, the dynamic duo, the two of us, and we're just working really, really hard to get the job done here in California.
Well, best wishes to you and all my love to Corinne. I think it's fantastic, the 1-2 punch. Thank you so much for being here tonight and for joining us on the show.
Always great to be with you, Stacy. Thanks for having me.
All right. Talk to you soon. Be safe out there. Wow. That is such great news. She just had win after win after win. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We'll be back with more Stacy on the Right after this.